Hi everyone, this is Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria, and today I'm bringing you yoga for tight hips. So if you have tension in that area of the body, this is for you. One important thing is when we're opening the hips, we want to make sure that we're really warm. So this is a little bit more of a vigorous practice. So put on something you can move in and let's get started. Find a space for yourself on a mat, or you can do this on the floor as well. I do recommend having a couple of yoga blocks for this sequence. And we're actually going to start out on our back. So you can just roll yourself down onto the back, bring the soles of the feet together, and then the knees are going to open wide. Right away, we're going to use our blocks and set them up underneath the thighs, or underneath the knees rather. So you can scoot them in if you want more support, or you can take them out further if you're feeling a little bit more open today. And then you can take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Right away you can close the eyes and make sure that you're fully supporting yourself here so that the knees aren't just hanging open. There shouldn't feel like you have any strain here on the hips just yet. Our bodies are much more likely and willing to open when we're supported. So something to keep in mind as you move through today's practice. And then just start to allow yourself to settle in, feeling the back on the mat, coming into the space that you've created for yourself at home or at the gym. And then allowing yourself to start to tune into the breath. Making a mental note about how you feel today. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you need to sigh it out, you can allow yourself to do that. Breathing in. Breathing out. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Good, and then when you're ready, just flutter the eyes open. We'll take the hands to the outsides of the knees. Use the hands and the strength of the arms to pull the knees in towards one another. You can move the blocks to the sides. And then we're just gonna take a easy, happy baby. So the arms reach inside the knees and reach for the outer edge of either foot. Then you'll just pull the shoulders down towards your mat. If you're not able to reach the outer edge of the foot, or this is too much too early, grab the ankles or behind the knees. And then just keep pulling the knees in towards the armpits. You can take a little movement side to side. Stay with the breath. Good, and then bring both knees in towards the chest. Hug the knees in. Put a little tuck in the chin. Start to roll or rock forward and back. Just little rocks at first, and then build enough momentum that you can come all the way up. We're gonna find a hands and knees posture right away. So set up the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees. And we'll start to activate Ujjayi breath here. So breathing in and out through the nose, the breath that we maintain throughout our practice to help regulate the temperature of the body. So breathe in, let the low belly drop down, the chest reaches forward, gaze goes up. On your exhale, exhale through the nose, belly comes up, back of the neck gets long, let the head fall heavy for cat pose. A few more times, breathe in. Breathe out, round the spine. Again, inhale, drop the belly, chest lifts, look forward. Exhale, press into the hands to round the spine, let the back of the neck be long, head gets heavy, and then take the hips to the heels for a wide knees child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat, hands reach forward. Take a breath in and out. Good, and then from here, come back to hands and knees. Then we're just gonna start to make big circles with the hips. So taking the hips over to the right, heel all the way back, coming kind of through a active child's pose, and then all the way forward, just taking this clockwise at first, big circles with the hips. So giving yourself a moment here to just find any kinks in the body, understanding where you might be holding tightness. And then once you get to the top, let's take it the other way, counterclockwise, over to the left first. Oh yeah, it feels good. You can speed this up or slow it down for whatever you need, whatever you might be feeling. Let's take one more circle around. Good, and then just come back to hands and knees. Take a look at the hands and make sure the creases of the wrists are exactly parallel with the front of your mat. Press down into all 10 fingers, especially the pointer and the thumb. And then tuck the toes, take the seat up and back. For our first downward facing dog, you can go ahead and pedal out the feet for this first one. Letting the backs of the legs open, making sure you're pressing strongly into both hands. The gaze goes to the big toes. Good, and then just breathe and roll forward to a plank pose. Stack the shoulders over the wrist. On your exhale, lower the knees. You'll arch the back, elbows pull back, lower the chest and the chin. From here, slide the chest forward, tops of the feet press, cobra pose, elbows pull back, a little tuck in the chin to keep the back of the neck long, activating the muscles of the back here. Exhale, tuck the toes, take the seat to the heels. Come on back to downward facing dog. We'll do that one more time. Breathe in, roll forward to plank. Breathe out, lower the knees, arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Inhale, slide through for cobra pose, head and chest lift, elbows pull back, tops of feet press. Exhale, take the seat to the heels. And then come back to downward facing dog, hips lift up and back. So nice. Next, we'll breathe in, bring the right leg up. Breathe out, take the knee to the nose, and then step the foot between the hands. If the foot doesn't reach all the way, just use the right hand and scooch the leg up. Breathe in, extend. You might bring the hands to blocks. Extend the right leg, right hip pulls back. Let the head fall heavy. Breathe out, bend the right knee, find a low lunge. Inhale, straighten right leg, head falls heavy. Exhale, bend the knee, gaze forward. Inhale, straighten right leg. Exhale, bend the knee, low lunge. From here, move the blocks to the sides, hands come to the mat, step to plank pose. On your exhale, drop the right knee down, spin the left heel to the mat. The right shin can swing back behind you, press into the right hand, left arm reaches up, supported side plank, gaze goes up, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, both knees come to the mat. Exhale, left hand threads behind the right wrist. Left shoulder comes to the mat. Taking a twist over to the right arm or fingertips walk forward, and then the gaze goes up towards the ceiling. Up and underneath that right armpit, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come back to center. Press both hands into the mat. Breathe out, tuck both toes for plank pose, engage the belly. Breathe in here. Breathe out, lower the knees. Arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Inhale, slide through for cobra pose. Exhale, stay here. Keep the head and the chest lifted. Squeeze the legs together. Really press down into the toes. That's 2. Breathe in. Breathe out, 3. Forehead comes to the mat. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Take the hips back for downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, take the left knee to the nose and then step the foot between the hands. Once again, if the foot doesn't reach all the way, just use the left hand to scoot the foot all the way up between the hands. Once again, the hands can come to blocks. Breathe and extend the left leg. Left hip pulls back. Let the head fall heavy. Breathe out, find a low lunge, bend the left knee, look forward. Inhale, extend the leg, head falls heavy. Exhale, low lunge, look forward, put a bend in the left knee. One more time like this with the breath, breathe in. Breathe out, low lunge. Take the blocks to the side, plant the hands into the mat. Inhale for plank pose. Exhale, take the left knee to the mat, ground the right heel down. Left shin can come back behind you, press into the left hand, and then right arm reaches up. Supported side plank. Breathe in. Knit the ribs together. Breathe out. Find space and expansiveness. On your inhale, both knees come to the mat. On your exhale, right hand threads behind the left, right shoulder comes to the mat, and then walk the left fingertips forward. You're taking a twist here. Gaze goes up and underneath the armpit. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, walk the hands back to the mat. Breathe out, tuck the toes for plank pose. Inhale here, press into the hands. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. From here, you'll untuck the toes. Move these blocks so you can see me. And then take the fingertips off your sticky mat or over to the side. Elbows point straight up, tent the fingertips. On your breath in, peel the head and the chest up any amount. On your exhale, reach the chest forward and down. Forehead comes to the mat. 2 more times like this. Breathe in, peel up. Any amount is good. Exhale, roll back down. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. From here, hands come underneath the armpits, tuck the toes. Engage the legs so that the kneecaps come up off the mat. On your breath in, you can use the knees, otherwise press in one line to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple petals of the feet, come back to your breath, in and out. Breathe in to lift the heels. Breathe out, bend the knees, gaze forward between the hands. From here, we're just walking the feet forward, 1 foot at a time, all the way to the front of the mat. When you arrive, separate the feet, hips width distance. That's 2 fists between the big toes. Then put an even bigger bend in the knees, interlace the hands behind you, and just fold over the legs. Keep a little bend in the knees. Hands reach up and overhead, and then just let the head be heavy, the neck is long. You can take movement side to side or front to back. Whatever is feeling right and good for you. If it's too much to interlace the hands, you can always reach for opposite elbows or just take the hands to the low back, but try to keep the shoulders pulling back here. And then wherever you are, take the hands towards the low back, release the fingertips, arms hang heavy. And then we'll slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, just stacking each on top of the next. Head will be the last to arrive to the top. When you get to the top, you can take a couple shoulder rolls if that feels good. Yeah. And then stand tall. Feel the big toes touching. Pull the low belly in. Find your Tadasana. Fingertips reach towards the floor. Crown of the head reaches up. And just take a moment here to bring to mind a quality that you want to cultivate more of this week. It can be anything. Try to keep it positive, encouraging. It could be 1 word or a phrase. So take a moment now to bring that into your mind's eye. Good, and then when you're ready, flutter the eyes open. Let's have a great practice. Breathe in, reach the arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, fold over the legs, hands come to the mat, let the head fall heavy. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hand, just step the feet back for this first one, and lower halfway for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. You can always take knees, chest, chin in cobra instead. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. We're staying here for 3 breaths. So let's clean up our down dog shape, really pressing into the hands. Shoulders come away from the ears. triceps wrap back so that the armpits pull up and in towards the heart. The low belly pulls up and in. That's 2. Let the heels sink down towards the mat. 3. Breathe in to lift the heels. Breathe out, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step or jump to the front of the mat. When you arrive, half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Arms reach up overhead, look up. Exhale, pull the hands through the heart center, and then stand tall, find your Tadasana once again. This time, breathe in, hook your thumbs, reach up, arch back, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, interlace the hands behind you, and fold. Inhale, chair pose, bend the knees, sit hips low, arms reach up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, lower the left knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands come to the mat, right foot steps back for downward facing dog. Breathe in for plank pose. We're keeping it moving here. Breathe out, lower halfway for chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathe out, place the foot between the hands, low lunge, drop the back knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps forward to meet the right and fold. Inhale, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, bend the knees, interlace the hands behind you and fold. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, stand all the way up, look up. Exhale, we're coming right back down, interlace the hands behind you and fold. Good, breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right foot back, ground the right knee down. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll forward, look forward. Exhale, lower halfway for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Building heat here. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. So nice, guys. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, place the foot between the hands, right knee comes to the mat. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands come to the mat, right foot steps forward to meet the left and fold. Breathe in, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, interlace the hands behind you and fold. Breathe in, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bring it back down, interlace the hands behind you and fold. Inhale, sit hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, stay here for 3 breaths. Keep pulling the low belly in. Keep sitting the hips low, chest lifts for 1. Keep the gaze moving forward for 2. Squeeze the inner thighs together. 3, fold the belly over the legs and fold over the legs here. Separate the feet, hips width distance. Once again, you can measure that out with 2 fists between the big toes. And then from here, we'll grab the big toes with the first 3 fingers. So the pointer and middle finger wrap underneath. Thumb wraps on top. Bend the knees a lot so that you can feel the belly on the thighs. Pull the shoulders back. Find length in the sides of the body and the spine. Look forward. On your exhale, let the head fall heavy. Elbows pull in opposite directions. Let the hips reach up for Padangusthasana. Back of the neck is long for 1. Keep engaging the fronts of the legs so that the backs of the legs can open. For 2. Staying with the breath. 3. 4, low belly keeps pulling in. 5. Inhale, put a bend in the knees, look forward, release the fingers. On your exhale, you can take that again, or we're gonna place the palms underneath the feet so the toes come towards the wrist, fingertips come towards the heels. Put an even bigger bend in the knees. Once again, find length in the sides of the body and the spine. Look forward. Exhale, head falls heavy. And fold. This is Padahastasana. All the same elements here. Pressing down into the feet, engaging the legs for 1. Shoulders come away from the ears. 2. Continue to put weight into the toes. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, bend the knees, half lift, release the hands. Breathe out, take the hands to the waist, find a flat back. Breathe in, lead with the chest, rise all the way to stand. Exhale, heel toe the feet together. Hands come by the sides, find your Tadasana pose. Fingertips reach down towards the floor. Let's take a big breath in. Big breath out. So nice. From here, hug the left knee in towards the chest. And then you'll take the knee open to the side, set up for tree pose so you can place the left foot to the right inner thigh or shin. Or you can even place the toes on the floor and just let the heel rest against the ankle. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Feel the low belly pulling up and in. And then find a non-moving spot for your gaze. On your next inhale, take the hands up. On your exhale, you can stay or separate the hands. Keep pressing foot into leg, leg into foot for 1. 2. 3. Keep the arms reaching up. On your breath in, carry the left knee forward, flex the foot. On your breath out, reach the left foot all the way back for high lunge. Arms stay reaching up, pull the low belly in. Inhale, hands come to the mat. Down dog split, right leg sweeps up and back behind you. Breathe out, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straighten out the legs, square the hip here. Exhale, take the knee to the nose and then step the foot between the hands. Inhale, take it back up for high lunge. Exhale, open arms and hips, spin the left heel down for warrior 2. Arms reach in opposite directions. Breathe in, straighten right leg, both arms reach up, look up. Exhale, warrior 2, gaze goes forward. Moving with the breath 2 more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior 2. So nice. Stay here. Pull the low belly in. Keep bending into the front knee. Make sure that the right knee's tracking over the right toes for 1. Chest is lifted. 2. Keep pressing into that back outer foot for 3. Inhale, flying warrior. Straighten the right leg. Turn the right toes in. Both arms reach up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, half lift. Take the wrist underneath the shoulders. Breathe out, just put a little bend in the left knee. Both feet stay parallel. Inhale, straighten left leg. Exhale, bend in the left knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Breathe in, come back through center, find a flat back. Breathe out, crawl the hands forward so you're in a low lunge facing the front edge of your mat or your space. Grab a block, place it outside the right heel. We're gonna spin the left heel down to the mat. On your breath in, straighten the right leg. Right hand comes to the block outside the foot or the ankle or the shin. On your exhale, left arm reaches up. You're in a triangle pose or Trikonasana. Knit the ribs together for 1. Keep squeezing the inner thighs towards one another, creating a strong base. 2. 3. Inhale, engage the legs, use the belly to stand all the way up. Breathe out, rebend the right knee for warrior two. Inhale, right arm reaches up and back for reverse warrior. Look up. Exhale, right forearm comes to the right thigh. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Side angle variation. We're just staying here for one breath. In and out. Inhale, straighten right leg. Right arm reaches up. Look up. Reverse triangle. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Find a low lunge. Breathe in for plank pose. Bring the big toes to touch. Breathe out, roll to the outer edge of your left foot, planting the left hand down, right arm reaches up for side plank. Just a breath here. Flex the feet in, lift the hips higher and out. Breathe in for plank pose. Breathe out, look forward and lower halfway, or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So nice. Breathe in, lift the right leg. Breathe out, place the right foot outside the right hand this time. Setting up in a lizard pose. We're not gonna go too deep, we're just staying for the breath in and out. From here, turn the right toes out just a bit. On your breath in, left foot steps outside the left hand. On your exhale, hips sit low. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Use the elbows to press the knees away from Malasana Yogi Squat. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're gonna keep moving. Inhale, press into the feet, stand all the way up. Arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, find Tadasana. Step the feet together. Hands reach down towards the floor for Tadasana. So nice, you guys. Let's take the other side. Breathe in. Right knee comes into the chest. Breathe out, open the knee to the side, place the foot on the inner left thigh, shin, or ankle. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Keep squeezing everything in your low body towards one another. Breathe in to take the hands up and overhead. Breathe out, either stay here, separate the hands, finding some expansiveness for one. Really rooting down into the left foot, making that leg strong. 2, 3. Keep the arms reaching up. Breathe in, carry the right knee forward, flex the foot. Breathe out, reach the right foot all the way back behind you. You're in a high lunge. So nice. Taking your time. Inhale, hands come to the mat. Down dog split. Left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Breathe out, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straighten the left leg, square the hip. Exhale, take the knee to the nose, and then step the foot between the hands, doing what you need to do to get the foot forward. Breathe in, rise, high lunge. Breathe out, open arms and hips for warrior two. The right heel spins down, low belly pulls in. Inhale, straighten left leg, both arms reach up. Exhale, warrior two. 2 more times like this with the breath. Inhale. Exhale, left knee bends. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out. Warrior two. Staying here, pulling the low belly in for 1. Keep bending into the left knee, making sure the knee is tracking over the toes for 2. 3, so nice. Breathe in for flying warrior. Left leg straightens, left toes turn in, both arms reach up. Breathe out, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Make sure the hands are underneath the shoulders. Breathe out, just put a little bend in the right knee. Feet stay parallel. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, both legs straighten. Exhale, bend the right knee. So nice. Breathe in, straighten both legs. Half lift, find length in the spine. Breathe out, walk the hands forward, finding your low lunge at the front of the mat once again. Grab a block, place it outside the left foot. From here, and then the left hand will press down onto the block. You'll have an option to place it on the ankle or the shin in a moment. Spin the back heel down. On your breath in, straighten the left leg. Find your hand placement and then peel the right arm open for triangle pose. So nice. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep pressing both feet down into the mat, inner thighs towards one another. 2, let the chest open up towards the ceiling. It's a little bit of a leaning back sensation here. for 3. Inhale, use the legs and the belly to stand all the way up. Exhale, bend the left knee for warrior 2. Breathe in, flip the left palm, reach up and back, look up, reverse warrior. Exhale, left forearm comes to the left thigh, right arm reaches up and overhead. Side angle variation, just one breath here. In and out. Breathe in, reverse triangle, left leg straightens, left arm reaches up, look up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Find your low lunge, move the block to the side. Inhale for plank pose, make sure that the big toes are touching. Breathe out, roll to the outer edge of your right foot, press the right hand into the mat, side plank, just one breath here, lift the hips high. Maybe take the gaze up, in and out. Breathe in, plank pose. Breathe out, look forward and lower halfway or meet up in down dog. Inhale, upward facing dog, chest lifts, low belly pulls in. Exhale, downward facing dog. So nice, breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, place the left foot outside the left hand. Just stay here for a moment in lizard, keep pressing the hips forward. For a breath in, the chest lifts, breath out. And then turn the left toes out slightly. On your next inhale, right foot steps outside the right hand. Hips sit low on your exhale. Finding your yogi squat. Chest lifts, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, press into the feet, stand all the way up, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, feet come to touch. Hands reach down for Tadasana. So nice. And then breathe in, hug the left knee into the chest. Breathe out, left ankle is gonna cross over the right knee, arms reach up, sit the hips low for figure 4 chair. We're gonna stay lifted here, keep lifting the chest for 1, 2, 3. From here, right hand comes to the right waist, left fingertips grab the left big toe. On your next inhale, stand up into the right leg, left leg extends over to the left for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Maybe the right hand comes over to the right for 1, 2, keep turning that left hip up and underneath you for 3. Inhale, carry the left leg forward. Right arm reaches up, keep the left leg lifted, left arm reaches up, flex the foot, keep the leg lifted, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, bend the knee, flex the foot, stay with me. Breathe out, step the foot all the way back for high lunge, so nice. Inhale, hands come to the mat, down dog split, right leg sweeps up and back behind you. Breathe out, bend the knee, open the hip. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, straighten the legs, square the hip. Exhale, take the knee to the nose and then step the foot between the hands for your low lunge. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Exhale, open arms and hips for warrior 2. So nice. Breathe in, flying warrior, straighten right leg, both toes turn in, arms reach up. Exhale, warrior 2 to the back this time, left toes turn, left knee bends. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, reach forward and down with the left hand. Right arm reaches up for triangle pose, just coming into it a slightly different way this time. You can stay here in triangle, or you can take the right hand to the right waist, take the gaze down, put a little bend in the left knee, and float up into half moon pose, lifting the right leg up, keep flexing the right foot. Maybe the right arm reaches up towards the ceiling for 1, 2, 3. If you're in half moon, put a little bend in the left knee. On your breath out, float back to warrior 2. Wherever you are, let's find flying warrior, straighten left leg, turn the left toes in, both arms reach up. Exhale, fold over the legs, hands come to the mat. This time we'll take the heels of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. So you'll walk the hands back, crown of the head reaches towards the mat. Engage the legs, press the outer edges of the feet down for 1, Pull the low belly in for 2, 3. Inhale, half lift, find a flat back. Exhale, turn the left toes out, bend the left knee any amount. You might come into full skandasana, lifting the right toes up. You can take any variation with the arms here, finding a big stretch on the right side, the right inner thigh. Breathe here. Let's take one more breath in and out. Hands come to the mat, come through the center, extend both legs, find a half lift. Exhale, low lunge to the front of the space. Keep the right hand inside the right foot. You might even bring a block to come underneath the right hand. We'll spin the left heel down, and then from here we'll peel the left arm up for side angle B. You can stay here and keep pressing the knee into the elbow. If you want to take this a little further, you can drape the left arm behind the back. And then you might even tuck the right shoulder underneath the right hamstring, reaching for the hands behind the right outer hip. If you have the bind, keep extending the heart up towards the ceiling. Keep pulling the right hip back in towards the midline for 1, 2, 3. Wherever you are, let's come back to side angle B. Right hand down, left arm reaches up. Breathe and stand up into the legs. Find reverse triangle. Right leg straightens, right arm reaches up. Find a lot of space in the right side of the body. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Find a low lunge twist. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up. So nice. Turn to the outer edge of the left foot. Right toes turn to the right. And then find your side plank, maybe keeping the right leg lifted for 1. Gaze goes up for 2, 3. Breathe in for plank pose. Breathe out, lower halfway for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So nice here. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathe out, place the foot outside the right hand. Inhale, left foot steps forward outside the left hand. Exhale, sit the hips low for Malasana Yogi Squat. From here, you can stay in a squat, or you can take the hands to the mat, scoot the heels in towards one another, and then come to the toes, plant the hands all the way down into the mat, and you can take crow practice. The knees come as high as you can get them on the backs of the arms, almost in the armpits, and then start to lean the weight forward into the hand. You'll bend the elbows like chaturanga arms. Lift the heels in towards the butt. Keep looking forward. For 1, 2, 3. Come back to yogi squat with control. Hips sit low. On your next inhale, we'll stand all the way up. Arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, find Tadasana. So nice, you guys. Breathe in, right knee comes into the chest. Breathe out, cross the ankle over the knee, sit the hips low, arms reach up, figure 4 chair. Keep sticking the butt back for 1, 2, 3. From here, left hand comes to left waist, right hand comes to right big toe. Stand all the way up on your next inhale. Extend the right leg to the right. Option for the left arm to extend as well. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana for 1, 2, 3. Inhale, carry the leg forward. Left arm reaches up. Keep the right leg lifted. Right arm reaches up. Take a breath in and out. Breathe in, bend the right knee, flex the foot. Breathe out, reach the right foot all the way back behind you. Find a high lunge. So nice. Take your time on those transitions. Breathe in, hands come to the mat. Down dog split. Left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Breathe out, bend the knee, open the hip. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Inhale, straighten the legs, square the hip. Exhale, take the knee to the nose and then step the foot between the hands. Breathe in, rise, high lunge. Breathe out, open arms and hips for warrior two. You know where we're going. Breathe in, straighten the left leg. Both toes turn in, arms reach up, flying warrior. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Right toes turn, right knee bends. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, reach forward and down for triangle pose. Right hand comes to the ankle or a shin. You can take the hand outside the foot to a block. Left arm reaches straight up. You can stay for another round of triangle, or you can take the left hand to the left waist. Gaze comes down, put a little bend in the right knee, reach forward, lift the left leg up for half moon pose. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling for 1, 2, 3. Stay with me here. If you're in half moon, put a little bend in the right knee. Breathe out, float back to warrior two. If you're in triangle, everyone meet up in flying warrior. Parallel feet, both legs straighten. Reach the arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Head falls heavy. From here, we'll have an option to come in a tripod headstand in a moment, but for now, just grab the big toes with the first 3 fingers. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Crown of the head comes towards the mat for 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, half lift. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Breathe out, turn the right toes out, bend the right knee any amount. You might come into full skandasana with the left toes flipping up. Really try to keep this right heel grounded down. For 1, 2, one more big breath in, 3. Press into the feet, extend both legs, find a half lift. Exhale, find your low lunge at the front of the mat. Keep the left hand inside the left foot. Once again, you might bring a block underneath the left hand to bring the floor a little bit closer to you. Spin the right heel down, and then on your next exhale, peel the right arm open and up so that the chest is exposed, side angle B. Same thing here, if you want to take this further, you can drape the right arm behind the back, and then the left shoulder will nuzzle underneath the left knee. The hands meet up outside the left outer hip. Keep pulling the left, wherever you are, keep pulling the left hip back in towards the midline. Keep turning the chest up for 1, 2, keep bending into the front knee. 3. Wherever you are, bring the left hand down, right arm reaches up. Use the legs, we're standing all the way up. Reverse triangle, find space in the left side of the body, yeah. Woo! We've got some heat going now, and then low lunge twist, right hand comes down, left arm reaches up. Turn the left toes to the side, come to the outer edge of the right foot. We're transitioning to side plank. Left leg stays lifted if you can for 1. Gaze goes up for 2, 3. Breathe in for plank pose. Breathe out, look forward and lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So nice, you guys. Breathe in, let's roll forward to plank. Breathe out, lower all the way to your belly. Untuck the toes. We're gonna take a couple back bends here. Interlace the hands behind you. Let's take the opposite grip. So whatever you naturally did, just go the opposite way. Opposite index finger and thumb on top. And then breathe in, lift the head, the chest, lift the hands up off the butt, lift the feet for Shalabhasana. Keep a little tuck in the chin to keep the back of the neck long for 1, 2, 3, slowly lower down. You can drop the left cheek to the mat. Release the hands. And then you can swivel the hips side to side to release the low back. Nice. Bring the forehead back to the mat. Bend both knees. Reach for the outer edges of the feet. And then breathe in, lift the head, the chest, kick the feet into the hands, squeeze the knees together, squeeze the inner thighs together for bow pose. For 1, You're balancing on the fleshy part of the belly for 2. Keep kicking the feet into the hands. 3, slowly lower all the way down. Right cheek comes to the mat. Release the feet, and then swivel the hips side to side to release the low back. Forehead comes back to the mat, hands come underneath the armpits, tuck the toes. Engage the legs so much that the kneecaps come up off the mat. Breathe in, press to plank. Breathe out, downward facing dog. From here, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot comes outside the left hand. From here, right foot comes outside the right hand. Sit the hips low, yogi squat. And then we're gonna take our second crow practice. So hands come to the mat. Whoops, my mic is falling off. Hands come to the mat, set up the same way. And then once you're in crow, you might just be practicing putting weight into the hands. If you're in crow, you can take it to tripod headstand if that's in your practice. Otherwise, stay in crow for 3, 2, 1. You have an option to shoot the legs back for chaturanga. If you're in tripod, pike the legs first so that the ankles are in line with the hips, and then shoot the feet back. We're all gonna meet up in downward facing dog. Such nice work, you guys. From here, take the right knee forward and just set it down right behind the right wrist. You'll lower the hips. We're coming into a half pigeon. So you might want to take a block and place it underneath the right hip, or a blanket or a towel or a small sofa pillow. Works really nice. Once you're set up and you have support underneath the hips if you need it, take a look back at the left toe and make sure that it's just pointing straight back behind you. Breathe in to lift the chest. Breathe out. Walk the hands forward any amount. You might come to the forearms. You might place the forehead on a block. You can walk the hands all the way out and bring the forehead to the mat. Just coming back to the breath. Sending breath to anywhere in the body that you're feeling tension. It might be in the right hip joint. So practice trying to soften in that area. Envisioning liquid quality in the hip. Practice sending your breath to that area of the body. Take one more breath in and out. Walk the hands back in towards the hips. Tuck the left toes. Press into the hands and just step back to downward facing dog. If you feel like you need to lift the right leg and open the hip, you can surely do so. We're just going to take the other side, so the left knee comes behind the left wrist. Left foot comes over towards the right wrist, and then lower the hips. Set yourself up with props if you need. Check your back toe to make sure that the right toe's pointing directly behind the knee and the hip. Lift the chest to find length on the sides of the body. And then lower yourself forward any amount. This side might feel different. That's all good. Staying with the breath, remembering the same things from the other side, imagining a liquid quality in the left hip. Practicing sending breath to the area in the body where you have tension. It's likely the left hip, but you might be holding in the shoulders. Try to soften the jaw as well. Take one more breath in and out. Walk the hands back in towards the hips. Tuck the right toe back behind you. Press into the hands and come back to downward facing dog. Once again, you can lift the left leg, bend the knee, and open the hip if that's feeling good. Come back to down dog. Take the knees to the mat. And then let the hips sink all the way to the mat as well. Have your blocks handy, close enough that you can reach them. From here, we're going to straddle the legs any amount. So you can just open them any amount that works. And then we're going to bring the right knee in towards, or the right heel in towards the groin. I'll mirror you. So right heel comes in. And then the left hand comes to the right thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. And then the gaze goes up and underneath the armpit. So a big side stretch here. Staying with the breath. It's more important to be getting a real stretch on the side of the body than reaching the foot. So really reaching up and out. And then breathe in, come all the way back up, sit tall. The left foot comes into the center. The feet will meet this time. Heels come in toward the groin. We'll take Baddha Konasana. Elbows come in towards the body. Lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. You can place blocks underneath the knees if you need some support on the lowest setting or the highest. And then just let the head fall heavy. Once again, see if you can relax into this posture. Slowly rise all the way up. This time the right leg will extend. Left heel comes in towards the groin. Right hand comes to the left thigh. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Taking your side stretch. Gaze goes up and underneath the armpit. Keep reaching the hand towards the foot. For 1, 2, 3. Slowly rise all the way up. And then we're going to extend both legs. Come to make sure that you're sitting on top of the hips. You might even put a blanket underneath the booty. Make sure that the knees are pointing straight up to the ceiling. Toes are flexed. And then we're just going to walk the hands any amount forward. This is where blocks can be really helpful. You might want to place the forearms on a block like this. You might want to walk the hands forward and place the forehead on a block. You can take the forehead all the way to the mat. Just make sure that the knees are pointing straight up to the ceiling. And once again, practice breathing into where you have tension in the body. Soften your brow. Soften the jaw, any holding that you might have or clenching of the teeth. Let the head go. Breathe deeply into your body. Stay with it a little bit longer. Using the breath as your sole tool for staying in this posture. Getting a little bit more comfortable being comfortable. Practicing makes progress. And then as gently as you can, just walk the hands back in towards the hips. And then I recommend trying to put a little bend in either knee, but then use both hands to pull one leg towards the center. Use both hands to pull the other leg towards the center. You'll bring the feet to the sole, or the soles of the feet to the mat. Hands come back behind you, fingertips face forward. Breathe and press into the feet to lift the hips up, let the head fall back. Let the hips reach up towards the ceiling for 1, 2, 3. Slowly lower the hips back down. Cross at the ankles. Place a block or a blanket or a pillow underneath the hips, and then just sit tall. Find a comfortable seat. Let the hands rest on the tops of the thighs. Close the eyes and just come into a meditative seat. You can take your attention to the breath. If you have a mantra or a prayer, you can start saying that to your internal self now, just repeating over and over so that you can focus your mind on one thing. Start to bring your attention back into your body, feeling your hips grounding down onto a block, a book, or a pillow, feeling the hands resting on the thighs, and begin to deepen the breath and just flutter the eyes back open. Move your blocks to the side, and then come to lay down on your back. We're just going to take 1 back bend, a simple bridge pose, because we did do some folding, so I just want to make sure that we open up the fronts of the hips. So bring the soles of the feet to the mat. The hands and the arms reach long on either side of you, and then press into the feet to lift the hips up. You'll interlace the hands underneath you, and then roll one shoulder underneath the back and then the other. Keep pressing into the feet to lift the hips, and then keep pressing the chest towards the chin. You can close the eyes here. Keep pulling the inner thighs towards one another so that the legs are parallel. 1 more breath in and out. Slowly lower the hips all the way to the mat. You'll separate the feet mat width distance and let the knees knock in on one another. 1 hand can come to the heart. 1 hand comes to the belly. Close the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Come back to your breath. And then flutter the eyes open, heel to the feet in toward one another. We'll take a happy baby to close our practice. Since we took this at the beginning of class, you might feel the difference in the openness of the legs and the hips. You can rock it side to side. And then bring the knees in towards the chest. Forehead comes to the knees. Squeeze yourself in. And then release the legs long. Arms are long by the sides, finding our final resting pose, Shavasana. Let the body get heavy. Let yourself deeply rest. feel free to stay in this Shavasana for as long as 5 minutes. Otherwise, you can begin to deepen and widen your breath. Bring movement to the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms up and overhead, and then bend the knees so that the soles of the feet can come to the mat. And then you'll let the knees roll to the right side, finding a fetal position using the arms as pillows. You could stay here for a moment. When you're ready, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Once again, letting the hands rest on the thighs, sitting up tall, grounding down into the hips, but reaching up out of the crown of the head. And taking a moment to observe the sensations in the body and the mind and the breath. Knowing that your hard work contributed to an open body, steady, even breath, and a clear, still mind. Bring the hands to touch in front of the heart. Take the thumbs to the third eye, and tuck the chin so that the head bows to the heart. And have gratitude for the teachings of yoga. Namaste, yogis. Thanks again so much for joining me. Use this practice anytime you need to open up space in your hips. As always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, hit the big red button below and comment on this video to let me know if you liked it or other things that you'd like to learn with me. Thanks so much for joining. See you next time.